Hello and welcome to video 2 of my bar review series. Today's video is going to be focused on bar review courses and how I intend to study the material needed to pass the bar exam. Alright, so for methods that people take to study for the bar exam, the most basic would be to review your textbooks from law school. This is going to be mainly if you are fresh out of law school and you still have your textbooks. Mine have disappeared long ago. Option 2 is to use your law library. And I know when I was at Ave Maria, we quite frequently had local attorneys who would come and use the library. I don't know how many may have been studying for the bar exam, but we had lots of resources available to cover the laws that you would need to know. However, for me, that doesn't seem to be as much of an option. University of Florida is more restrictive with access to their law library, and the county library, or the county law library, has very limited resources. I think they expect you to use mostly online resources these days. So that does leave option 3, study the laws and free online resources, and there are a lot of them. Of course, everything that is going to be covered on the bar exam is public domain. All the statutes, all the cases, at least most of the cases, you can find online. And the big issue there is going to be more sifting through the material because there is so much of it. So the advantage of using something like a law review course is that they are going to focus specifically on the aspects that get tested on the bar exam, and a lot of the material will be more condensed. I was reading cases for a memo that I'm working on, and one case can be several hundred pages. And so if you can imagine going through a lot of those to get ready for the bar exam, that would be very time consuming. So we want summaries of the laws, especially case law, so that we can be more efficient in study time. All right. So that kind of covers a full bar review course is going to do that. Most what I would call the full bar review courses will cover both the multi-state bar exam and the Florida exam. They will have a combination of outlines, video lectures, and some of them offer tutoring on top of that. Practice exams, certainly for the multiple choice, the MBE, but also for the Florida exam. And they generally run at a couple of $1,000s. Tutoring is another option that a lot of people approach, especially in Florida for the Florida specific part, because a lot of the big bar review courses don't necessarily cover Florida. Florida is not one of the states that uses the universal bar exam for its state-specific sections. So a lot of the courses that are designed don't focus specifically on Florida. All right, this is a chart from testprepinsight.com, and the URL is at the bottom of the slide, but I will also include a link in the description of the video. It's a good comparison for a few different bar options. Test Prep Insight covers a lot more bar review classes as well as other other test review courses, but it gives you an idea on pricing and some of the common features included in these bar review classes. One thing to note, so Bar Prep Hero only covers the multi-state bar exam, and that's why it's so much cheaper than the others. I will say, looking at these, so BarMax and Studicata do not cover the Florida bar exam, or if they do, they don't make it apparent on their websites. So this is for the multi-state, and the UBE, which is what a lot of states use for their state-specific exam, but Florida does not. So the full courses for these companies would not be as useful for me. Now you see common features here: video instructions, live class hours, practice questions. They don't go into much detail about what kind of written material is included. Is it outlines? Is it just quick summaries? I did try Quimby out for a little bit, and their instruction is primarily based on videos, and they're very well made, these animated videos. But the text is mostly video transcripts, and since the expectation is that you're going to be working through the videos, I don't find that to be the most useful approach to studying for the bar exam. With the outline, you can work through it a lot faster, and then stop and watch videos for some of the more complex areas if that's needed to straighten it out. Practice questions are an important part of any bar exam, bar review course. I would just say be careful to make sure everything that's included in your course is actually included. Like this Quimby $1,000 course does not actually include 2,500 MBE questions. You need to upgrade to the almost $2,000 course to get full access to those, especially to the questions that are licensed through the National Conference of Bar Examiners. And most of these, maybe all of these, offer some of those questions. So it's a good way to get access to real review questions. We see for study tools, we have video lectures, outlines, flashcards, and practice problems. For the multi-state bar exam, practice problems are going to be the most important approach to getting ready for the exam. In part because I took classes in all the material, it's going to be a lot of review, and just going through practice problems, getting used to reading the prompts and solving the problems in less than 2 minutes per problem will be a big part of preparing. And then that will also give me opportunities to see, okay, these are the questions that I keep missing. That's what I need to focus on. Outlines are great for learning the logs. Quick summaries, it's much faster than trying to read cases or read the statutes, especially if they're outlines prepared by people who know these are the subject areas that are tested the most. Flashcards, I will probably make my own. Just the act of making flashcards is usually more helpful than studying them, although obviously the studying part is helpful. And then the video lectures, there's a lot of video lectures available on YouTube covering specific topic areas. So regardless of what course I sign up for, there will be a lot of free resources available there to get into the some of the more complex areas that are easy to get confused on. Okay, sources for MBE practice problems. So there's the MBE offers its own bar exam pack. 3 simulated exams, what you can get additional practice questions, and that's for $100. That's a pretty good deal. Now they do not say they offer 300 answer explanations. Yeah, so about half of them have answer explanations, and half of them you just get the answers. Option 2 I've been looking at is Bar Prep Hero. 1,300 practice questions. And these are so from MBE means that they're actually licensed questions from the National Board of Bar Examiners, or National Conference of Bar Examiners. 600 simulated questions, and their simulated questions are supposed to be pretty good. And written explanations about the correct answer versus Adaptabar is possibly considered the top multi-state bar exam prep focused on questions. Again, 1,600 MBE questions licensed from the NCBE, 200 Adaptabar questions, and the detailed explanations include both why the correct answer is correct and why the incorrect answers are wrong. Adaptabar also has this feature where when you take a practice exam, if you miss more questions in a certain subject area, on your next exam it will focus a little bit more on that area. Now Adaptabar is also looking to upsell. They have video lectures that you can buy either in bulk or on specific topics. So their goal is to Can get you to spend a little bit more money on review questions, but you can pick and choose which ones you pay for. All right, and then for Florida-specific practice problems, we have a study guide issued by the Florida Board of Bar Examiners, and they produce this every exam. So some of the questions as you go back will be a little bit outdated. And there aren't a ton of questions on each study guide, but they do produce that, and that seems to be the main source of practice problems for the Florida Bar exam. Other options I was looking at is IBIS Prep. This isn't covered at the Test Prep Info website, but IBIS Prep is a newer company, and they offer all kinds of tutoring, but they also offer bar prep courses, including Florida multiple choice questions. And I haven't looked at this one specifically. I don't know if it's just the study guide with their own model answers or what exactly this entails, but that seems to be the only source I found that says, hey, we have Florida specific questions you can buy that don't require buying an entire course. So IBIS Prep is a newer entrant into the bar review market, and overall I've been pretty impressed with their products. I will say one thing I consider a major positive is that they put a lot of their videos, their review courses, on YouTube for free. So it's a good introduction to see how they do their review. They offer a few different options, so of course you can get the full bar review course if that's what you want, and that one is pricey. But I will also say this for IBIS Prep: they're one of the few companies that actually publish their student pass rate on the bar exam, and right now it's very high. I believe they said 91% was their bar passage rate on the February exam, which, if you recall, had an overall bar passage rate of somewhere in the 30s. So very good results. You can get, if you don't want the live instruction, you can get their review notes, old video lectures, lots of material at a discount rate. So that's great. And then they also offer tutoring, and you can get different packages to get discounts on them. So overall, I've been pretty impressed with IBIS. I did talk with one of their sales reps, and yeah, they said the customer service seemed very good. So I think this may be a good option for me. All right, my plan. I am going to do the IBIS review. Go ahead and sign up for the drive. I'll probably supplement that with Bar Prep Hero, mainly for the sheer number of practice problems, and my focus with the MBE being to improve on my score from last time. It was a 153. So I think if I keep working a lot of practice problems, I can do better this time around. I'll also develop my own practice problems as I go along. All right, and I will supplement that with some tutoring if necessary, and I will decide on that when I come to it. But overall, this gives me a full bar review for just over $1,000, as long as I don't need tutoring, and I think that will be a good number. All right, so looking forward to diving into that. Next video is going to be on my study plan and how I'm going to find the time to get ready for the bar exam. Thanks for watching.